I'm getting old. But hello, 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 everyone. How are all of you?
It was the peak of summer, and the sweltering sun was beating down on the residents of Trista. After returning from Heimdall, we were given a whopping 5-day summer vacation before the school year resumed. Turns out, Thor sticks to its military roots, only granting extended vacations to students over the New Year's holiday. However, nobles are allowed to visit home, ostensibly to give them time to become familiar with their family's holdings. And, as you might expect, that meant most students from classes 1 and 2 spent summer away from Trista. Meanwhile, classes 3 through 5 were stuck on campus, envying the nobility as they studied and trained as usual. The other members of Class 7 and I chose to stay in Trista as well, facing the heat with our fellow students.
Well, at least that's kind of them. It's so hot. I'm dying in here. I'm sick of this heat already. Talking about it is just making me feel even hotter. The cabin should install an orbital air conditioner at least. Then it'd be a little easier to cope. An orbital air conditioner? What is that? Well, it's this device that blows out cool air to help regulate a room's temperature. Maybe it'd help if you think of it as the opposite of a stove. Wow, that's some kind of wizardry. I've heard of them, but aren't they supposed to be prohibitively expensive? Only the most modern buildings seem to be able to afford them. Do you have one in your house? Well, there's one in the Rainford Company's corporate headquarters, yeah. It'd be nice if my mother could spare one, you know, for the academy she sits on the board of directors for. Seems a bit too much to hope for. This is a military academy, so I doubt we can expect to be indulged quite that much. Still, a machine to help keep us cool in the summer? Whoever first invented that should get a medal. I'll admit, the summer heat here is more difficult to cope with than in Legram. But as long as I think of it as another part of my training, it doesn't bother me all that much. Boreahard gets similar summer heat waves. There's usually a breeze blowing in from the canyon at this time of year. That does make summers a bit easier to manage. My hometown's up in the mountains, so it's pretty cool even around this time of year. Actually, now that you mention it, I thought you three would go back home for the summer, being nobles and all. You were given permission, weren't you? If everyone else was going home, I would have considered it, but in the end, I decided against it. I mean, it wasn't all that long ago I got to see Elise, maybe next year? I came here to train. Until I feel like I've made a significant progress, I have no intention of returning home. Some of you saw my father's mansion. Do you think I'd go back to a place like that willingly? I'd much rather stay here and take my chances with heat stroke. You're really that uncomfortable at home, huh? Still, hot as it is, there's a lot going on right now. I doubt all the people headed to that conference at the end of the month have much time to be worrying about the heat. You make a good point. You're talking about the West Samaria Trade Conference, right? That's the one. There's never been an international conference on that scale before, at least not in modern times. Mayor Dieter Croy, who also happens to be the International Bank of Crossbow CEO, was the one who first proposed it. I've heard that Prince Olivert will be attending on behalf of His Majesty the Emperor, and Chancellor Osborne is supposed to be attending too. Seems crazy to think we met them both just a few weeks ago. The Chancellor in particular was a pretty intimidating figure. Seemed like a big, scary monster. I've heard he served in the Imperial Army before becoming a politician. Then 11 years ago, His Majesty entrusted him with the position of Chancellor. Supposedly, a full 70% of the Imperial Army is under his jurisdiction. His real fame comes from establishing most of the nation's railway network centered on the capital. Though he's also been responsible for annexing several smaller countries and independent states around Erebonia. I believe those will take place without any bloodshed, though, at least as far as I'm aware. I wouldn't put too much stock in what he's selling. Military spending in this country has increased exponentially since he took up his position as Chancellor. And that's only possible thanks to the tax revenue he gleans from the people of Heimdall and those annexed nations. Well, he was the one who ordered the construction of those 2 railway guns they've got pointed at Crossbell, too. At one point, Erebonian was on the verge of a full-scale war with Calvard because of those things. Oh yeah, I heard that was actually Liberal that proposed a way to avoid an armed conflict. They ended up signing the Non-Aggression Pact, right? Yeah. Though as I'm sure you've noticed, there's still quite a bit of tension between the 2 countries. I wouldn't be surprised if the issue reared its head again during the trade conference. Chancellor Osborne's been a really popular figure in the capital, though. Well enough that he seems to have a group of terrorists after him. He does seem to be the Imperial Liberation Front's main target, doesn't he? You know, the hammer of judgment that shall topple the dictator and all that? Indeed, they seem to harbor a deep-seated grudge against him. Their anger seemed a bit unusual in its intensity, didn't it? He does seem like the type who'd make a lot of enemies, especially with a face like that. Well, I'd rather not speak ill of my father's close ally, but... Come to think of it, isn't the instructor awfully late? It's all past time for homeroom to start. True, show started about 10 minutes ago, actually. I swear, that woman... She better not be sleeping off another hangover back at the dormitory. Wouldn't put it past her. Wish I could say there's no way our upsetting instructor would do that, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Excuse me. I'll have you know I did no such thing. Today.
Instructor?
Good morning, Instructor.
Morning, everyone! Anyway, I'll have you know I've got a good reason for being late today. And that reason is... we're going to be welcoming a new classmate today.
What?
A transfer student at this time of year?
Seriously?
All right, come on in.
Righto. Huh?
Crow?
But isn't he a second-year student?
I'm Crow Armbrest. Starting today, I'll be joining you fine folks as a member of Class 7. It's gonna be pretty sweet, guys.
What?
What? I mean, how?
Are you sure you want to know? It's a long tale fraught with the intrigue of school politics.
I don't think I'd put it quite like that. Back in his first year, he slacked off so much that he ended up failing a few of his classes. Then he came crying to me in a panic, like, "Oh, help me, Instructor Sarah! They're not gonna let me graduate." So as a special exception, he's going to be joining us for the next 3 months to pay for his laziness.
You can't be serious.
That's an even more pathetic reason than I was bracing myself for.
I think you already know that Crow was one of the trial users for the Arcus test they ran last year. So I thought he might be a good role model for you. In that sense, anyway. And don't forget, he'll also be joining us on our future field studies, too.
Nice. Looks like you saved me the trouble of having to explain it all. Anyway, let's let the good times roll. Oh, and since we're all classmates now, no need for all that sweet talking you lay on the other second years, all right?
Right.
Easier said than done, I fear.
If he was any more laid back, he'd be comatose.
Instructor, I can't help but notice you left the door open.
Wait, is there someone else, too?
Huh?
Are you serious?
Oh, I was hoping to catch you off guard. All right, come on in and say hello.
I thought you forgot I was out in the hall!
What?
What?
You must be joking.
Hey, aren't you?
You're the girl we met in the Nord Highlands.
Yuppers! Long time no see, guys! But I see a couple of you I don't know, so I guess I better introduce myself. I'm Milliam. Milliam Orion. And this here's Erigetlum, but we'll just call him Lammy for short.
What the hell is that? Holy crap!
It's that thing we saw at Ark's fort.
So this is that strange girl you met in the Nord Highlands.
Oh, and a little house rule before anything gets blown up. No bringing that thing out in the classroom. If he accidentally smashes a wall or blasts through the ceiling, I'm the one who's gonna get chewed out for it.
Boo! Fine. Anyway. Nice to meet you guys.
Tell me you're kidding. Please?
I really wish I could.
Well, I can see we're in for some fun times these next 3 months.
I'm sure none of you need to be reminded that it was none other than the Emperor Dracos at the War of the Lions. But did you know that historical records tells he had amazingly few soldiers under his command? Initially, his allies numbered only a few combatants and several warriors from Nord, and while supporters rallied to him in each region, his ranks still couldn't hope to compare to the other princes' armies. Nonetheless, they continued to advance, liberating region after region, and after half a year of bloody battles, Prince Tricles met perhaps his most well-known supporter. Millium, right? You haven't know the historical figure to whom I'm referring? Sure do. Leanne Sandlot, also known as the Lance Maiden. Right you are, well done. Sandlot was the daughter of a count who ruled over a remote region, and accounts tell us she showed great martial skill from a young age. In particular, her skill with the lance was unparalleled. No records exist of her ever being bested in combat. The Lance Maiden also had a group of mighty warriors under her command who fought alongside her in battle. Perhaps you'd like to illuminate us as to the name of this famous band, Reen? The Eisenritter, also known as the Iron Knights. They were a band of knights said to be able to charge across the battlefield like lightning, cutting down all in their path. Correct. You've done your homework. The Wandering Prince met the Lance Maiden one day during a prolonged conflict in the remote region of the country. After recognizing each other as reliable and trustworthy, then they pledged to fight together under a united banner. The Lance Maiden and her knights bolstering his ranks, Dracula's army swept through one region after another. In just a year, he was able to defeat the other princes and free the imperial capital, Heimdall. As an interesting footnote, the castle the Eisenritter used as their base of operations 250 years ago just so happens to be only a hop, skip, and jump away from Laura's home in Legram. Indeed, it's known as Lohengrin Castle. It's a beautiful old building situated on the shore of Lake Ebble to the west of Legram. Oh, you've mentioned that before. Does anyone live there now? No, due to the dangerous terrain, there are no one goes near it. These days it exists simply as a relic of a bygone age. The Arcide family is responsible for the care and maintenance of the castle, though really only minimal work is done. Speaking of the Arcide house, wasn't one of your ancestors the Eisenritter's second in command? Indeed. Lance Maiden's most trusted assistant and confidant, from what I understand. The Sandlot family line ended with the death of the Lance Maiden, and it's partially because of that the Arcide family mourns her death each year. I see. Oh, what a fascinating story. Legram, huh? Never had a mission there, so I've never been able to go. Maybe I should have stopped by when I went to Bereahard a while back. You'd think she'd at least try to conceal the fact that she gets sent all over the country on secret missions. I know, she still just let slip that she was doing something in Bereahard, too. Well, I suppose it's better than her doing all distant and cagey around us. Okay, so tomorrow's a free day, which means that next Wednesday you'll have your usual practical exam. You better all bring your A game. Oh, Milliam and Crow, a few must-have instructional materials you guys are going to need as part of Class 7 finally showed up. I'll hand this stuff off to you once you're done here, so I want you to come with me to the faculty lounge. Righto. Man, what a drag. Alright, homeroom's out for the day. Flee! Flee while you can! Machias, if you'll do the honors. Yes, instructor. All rise, bow, get the hell out. So, what do you think? Well, I don't think we would have to be on our guard around her at least. Same. But I'd rather she kept that giant silver thing of hers hidden. I don't think she's a bad girl. I was taking a nap in the courtyard yesterday and she came and fell asleep next to me. What does that have to do with whether or not she's trustworthy? They look like a couple kittens all curled up together. Their personalities may be worlds apart, but they're both rather cat-like in their own ways. She can't be more than 12 or 13. Still practically a child. Yeah, you're right. She's so chipper all the time that it's hard to really be cold toward her. Yeah, I don't think I can bring myself to spurn her. She's got this natural charm, I think. Be that as it may, her presence here reeks of blood and iron, if you take my meaning. Well, it certainly seems that way.
As such, I'm planning on granting you a bit of additional assistance. I should have it ready for you in a few weeks' time.
It's hard to believe a girl like that could be an agent in the intelligence division. But just going off what happened to Nord, there's not much that would make me doubt it now. And there's that thing, Ergetlum, that's always with her. She calls it Lammy, but aside from its name, we don't really know anything about it. It seems to be made from some strange material with both metallic and ceramic properties. Hard, but pliable. Agreed. It doesn't look like anything you could make even with the most cutting-edge orbital technology. When I touched it, it felt really nice and cold. Wow, so you actually touched it? It hasn't escaped my notice that it seems strikingly similar to the combat shells we fight in our practical exams. I think it's safe to assume that they share some kind of common origin. Yeah, the instructor says she was forced to accept it. Though in a sense, Milliam was forced on us too. You're welcome to think what you will, but I don't trust her. Either way, she's technically our classmate now, like it or not. Maybe a little early to tell whether we can trust her as a friend, but we should be able to figure out pretty quickly whether we can count on her as a member of Class 7. Ah, well, that's a logical way of breaking it down at least. You're right. It's still pretty early to make sweeping judgments. Knowing her background would be great, but what's really important is whether we can count on her in a fight. Agreed. As students of Military Academy, that's probably the most important issue. We'll have to wait and see. Well, considering we're living in the same dormitory, it'd be good if we all got along. Yeah, I wouldn't want her to think we're trying to make her feel unwelcome either. And then there's Crow. What's he like, Green? You seem like you get along with him pretty well. I don't know if I'd put it quite like that. I had to say, I describe him as a capricious gambling addict, way too prone to ante up for every hand. Adios, help us. Sounds like the kind of miscreant one would be better off avoiding. You can count on him when the chips are down, though. He really helped me out last month when Elise went into the old schoolhouse. He's good in a fight and pretty handy with the Zarkis, too. Maybe we're worrying over nothing, then. Still, I'm not really sure how to connect with him, you know? At least we're in separate dorms for the time being. We'll just have to see how things go.
Hello, Reen Schwarzer speaking.
Oh, hi there, Reen. Do you have a moment?
Toa? Well, this is a surprise. What can I do for you?
You've got a new student in your class now, right? Well, her student notebook is ready, so I figured it'd be best to get it to her as soon as possible. And since you handled it last time, would you mind coming to get it for her?
Ah, you're talking about Milliam. Sure thing. I'll come get it right away. You want me to swing by the student council room then?
That'd be great. Thanks.
She sure doesn't waste any time. I should head on over to the student council room before it gets too late.
Okay. Oh, I'm missing one entry. What entry am I missing? I don't know, that'll be something I'll take a look at later.
The door's open! Come on in!
Sorry if I disturbed you.
Oh, Rean! Not at all. Sorry for making you come all the way out here.
Don't worry about it. It's class business anyway. That's quite the spread you've got on your desk there. Is it just me, or does your workload only ever seem to increase?
Well, I've got a little extra going on right now that's keeping me a little busier than normal. Anyway, this is Milliam's notebook. Crow's already got one, along with the added pages on the Arcus units you all have, so she's the last one who needs it.
Alright, I'll be sure to pass this on to Milliam next time I see her. Actually, if you don't mind my asking, how much do you know about why she's here at the Academy?
All I know is that she came with a recommendation from the Army's Intelligence Division, really. You know those combat shells you fight in your practical exams? Apparently, it's something similar for Milliam. You can't deny her admission if the Emperor's pushing it through.
This goes all the way up to His Majesty?
Seems like it. The Chancellor was the one who set up both the Intelligence Division and the Railway Military Police. But neither of those organizations could have been established without His Majesty's consent. That's what's unusual. Anyway, because of that, the Academy can't really turn down a direct referral with that kind of backing.
So that's how it is. But even accounting for that, I never would have expected Crow to be transferred into our class too.
Yeah, I was just as shocked as you when I found out. I knew he was a habitual class cutter, but I always figured he at least had enough credits to graduate. Oh, I feel like a failure as student council president for not noticing.
Whoa there! I think you're being a little hard on yourself. What about Angelica? Does she have enough credits to graduate?
Angie at least makes sure to attend the classes she needs for graduation. Apparently, Crow not only hadn't attended enough class units, he also didn't turn in some essential assignments. But as long as he's active and engaged with his Class 7 work over the next couple months, he'll be able to graduate.
Ah. Still, I get the distinct feeling this 1-2 punch of transfer students wasn't just a happy coincidence. Am I right?
Well, yeah. The principal thought placing Crow in Class 7 might be beneficial for the rest of you, too. His grades might be a sorry sight, but he really knows how to get things done when he wants to. Did you know he was responsible for all of the event planning at last year's Academy Festival?
Crow did that? Voluntarily?
It might be kind of awkward having a second-year student in your class, but I hope you guys will all get along. That
we'll
goes
see.
to Miriam too, of course. She might have an unusual background, but at the end of the day, she's still a 13-year-old girl.
Yeah, I get what you mean. So she really is 13 then?
Yeah, she scored really well on her entrance exam though, so I think she can handle the curriculum fine. She might be small, but she can roll up her sleeves with the best of them.
Now where have I heard of someone like that before? Oh, sorry. Looks like I've got a call coming in.
Go ahead and answer. I don't mind. I wouldn't want you to miss anything important.
Alright. Excuse me then. Hello? Reen Schwarzer speaking.
Hello, Reen. It's your favorite instructor here.
Uh-huh.
Are you still on the Academy grounds by any chance?
As much as it pains me to say it, I am.
No need to sound so suspicious. It's just that after I gave Milliam all the things I had for her, she just took off somewhere. You know how she tends to be kind of a mischief maker. So could you find her and drag her back to the dorms for me?
Alright. I can only imagine what would happen if she were to flash that silver thing of hers around on the Academy grounds again.
Yeah, I'd really rather avoid a repeat of yesterday. Anyway, I leave it in your capable hands, brave leader of Class 7. Mwah!
Wait a second. When did I become the...
She really does trust you. Anyway, I'll let you go then. Are you still up for helping me with a few requests tomorrow?
Of course. I'll be around. Still, I know you've got a full slate and all, but try not to overwork yourself. And if there's anything else I can do to make life a little easier for you, don't hesitate to ask.
Sure. And thanks.
Actually, it's going to bug me if I don't do this. Okay. So I got that. Like 1, 2. Ah! So I think I found the one I'm missing. So it's when we get to the schoolhouse 7th floor. Because I was riding swimming, however, I'm always willing to take cute little ladies like you for a ride. Really? I want to have a race, though. I want to see if Lammy's faster than your bike. I don't know what this Lammy is, but it takes some guts to challenge me to race. Now I'm really starting to take a liking to you. Didn't take long for those two hit it off. Have you ever known Angelica not hit it off with a girl? Oh, hey there, what's up? Truth is, that's how you want to go and play it, then I'm not going to let you catch me. Our race is going to have to wait. Ah, very well. I look forward to seeing you around again. For sure. Catch you later. Wait up! And off she goes. You'll at least pretend to try and catch her, Angelica. Breen, sweetie, surely you've realized that I always side with my lovely ladies. I have to say, though, she's even more peculiar than I'd heard. Yeah, I'd really like to see this Lammy she keeps talking about, too. Tell her that she's always welcome here for us, will ya? Alright, let's go search somewhere else. Wow, look at all that water. It's gotta be refreshing. I kinda want to take a dip. We finally found you. Oh, hey, Reen. Hey, do you know if I get to take swimming lessons while I'm here? I can't think of reasons why you wouldn't. Has Instructor Sarah given you your school swimsuit yet? No, all I got today was my uniform. She told me I'd get it tomorrow. I can't wait though. I wish I could go swimming right now. I appreciate the zeal, but swimming lessons aren't exactly playtime. You guys think too much. Besides, all this pool talk really makes me want to go for a swim. Oh, I know. Milliam? Ta-da! I can wear this. It's totally waterproof and dries in no time. Now it's no problem if I get wet. Hold up, Milliam. On your mark, get set, go! Are you okay? That was way too fun. Hop on in, the water's nice and cool. She just doesn't care, does she? Well, that came as a surprise. We should go get her. Oh, where did she go? She timed her escape perfectly. She was headed towards the girls' locker room, so you probably just missed her. She must have run because she didn't want us to haul her back to the dorm. Well, there's nothing we can do except keep chasing after her. Was gonna be anything but trouble. Are you still chasing me? What on the road are you up to? It's been so long since we went horse riding north, I thought I'd give it another shot. This is so fun. It's totally different than flying around on Lammy. So I'm pleased to escort her far, far away from the stables. Why do you have to be so stubborn, Eustace? You must get that from your dad. I'm not even going to dignify that with a response. How do you know what my father's personality is like to begin with? Wow, Milliam even managed to throw Eustace for a loop there. Oh, what's with this girl? Who cares? I'm on the horse now. Time to ride. To the highway. Hi, ho, yo, horsey, away! Get your hands off the reins that... Oh, ha ha ha, let's go! Milliam, wait. You, little. That was the best. We should totally do it again sometime. Are you okay? I'm fine. That girl doesn't have a lick of sense. She has enough energy to power her own factory. Hopefully she'll slow down by the time we catch up to her. Time to start looking again. Actually, what I've got, people. Savory herb tea.
Alright, I'll give it a try. Delicacy straight from no... Alright, I'll give it a try. Perhaps the winds are... Alright, I'll give it a try. Perhaps the winds are...
Wowee! There's so much cool stuff here! So this is Thor's Military Academy, huh? I think I'm gonna like it here. Ooh, I wonder what the view from the rooftop's like. Huh?
Go guess you'd be up here. Hi, you guys. Did you come looking for me again? Don't give me that hi, you guys. Honestly, we're running all over the school grounds trying to catch you. How about it? Will you come back to the dormitory with us now? Sure thing. After the chase you let us on, you're just giving up that easily? Well, I've seen enough for one day. Tomorrow's a free day, so that's when I can really start exploring. If you're going to do the same thing tomorrow... She's sure a lively girl. Yeah, let's put it like that. Alright, let's get her back to the dorm before she changes her mind. Sounds good to me. Yowzers, that was so much fun. This town's got a nice feel to it, too. I think I'm going to like it here. Oh, I wonder where I should go tomorrow. Well, I'm glad someone's having fun. Though maybe you could spare a thought for the people who've been running all over the school grounds looking for you? Agreed. Oh yeah, we should exchange Arcus numbers, Milliam. We need to be able to reach you quickly if there's ever an emergency. Sure thing. My number is, Tell everyone else when you get back to the dorms, okay? Of course. Oh yeah, I should try calling Lecter and Claire later. I bet they'll be surprised. She really does seem like a typical 13-year-old girl for the most part. It's a pretty effective cover, though. Say, what happened to that big thing that's always tagging along with you? Oh, you mean Lammy? He's right here. What? Come on out. Man, don't come out here or you'll... Whoa, what's that? It's like a huge silver doll. This is so cool. Is it yours? Awesome. He sure is, isn't he? I swear. Looks like we've got our work cut out for us. Taking care of Milliam. She's going to be living at the cabin. I need to find some way to drill some common sense into her.
Hey guys, welcome back.
Welcome back, everyone.
Just been making myself at home here.
Crow?
What are you doing in our dormitory?
Well, I am a member of Class 7 now, so I've been given the go-ahead to move into this dorm now.
What? Well, that was quick.
But man, Sharon sure makes some amazing coffee. If I'd had a cup of that, I would have been banging down the door to join Class 7 months ago.
You flatter me, Master Crow. Would you like me to bring some of the cakes I baked earlier as well?
Do you even need to ask? Anyway, sorry it kind of came out of nowhere, but it's good to be here.
Looks like he's already made himself at home.
Sharon didn't seem to miss a beat either.
So you're gonna be living here too, huh?
Yep, us newcomers have to stick together, right? I just finished hauling all my stuff over from my old dorm. Looks like I ended up in the room right across from yours, Reen.
I see. I can already see things getting a lot more lively around here.
Ooh, man, moving all those things really tired me out. I was hoping I could just stow all my junk in my old room, but Toa wouldn't let me.
Well, of course she wouldn't.
He must be pretty exhausted. Well, I suppose now's as good a time as any to officially welcome you to the Class 7 dormitory.
The pleasure's mine. And seriously, you don't have to make a big deal out of it. Come on, loosen up a little. We're classmates now. Just treat me like one of the gang and we're golden.
You sure about that? All right, one of the gang it is. Feels weird to think of you that way after all this time, though.
I don't think there's any harm in a warm welcome, at least. We're happy to have you here.
Haha, stop. You're making me blush. But you know what they say, there's no place like Chrome. Oh, and if you guys don't
That
mind,
was bad.
I want to get in on the action when you explore the old schoolhouse tomorrow. Gotta get back in the groove with my Arcus again, after all.
Huh? A schoolhouse? Who'd want to go to school on their day off?
Well, we've got this special schoolhouse here.
Whoa, really? That sounds kind of cool. I want to come too.
How did I know you were going to say that? Didn't I just get done telling you how dangerous it is?
Oh, you don't have to worry about me. As long as I've got Lammy, it'll be easy peasy. And if you didn't take me with you, I'd just break down the door and come after you.
I wouldn't really put it past her either.
All right. Have it your way. I'll be sure to let you and Crow know when I'm planning on heading into the old schoolhouse tomorrow. But don't just go wandering in there on your own without us, all right?
Yes, sir! Oh, I can't wait to see what it's like down there. So exciting! I might not even be able to sleep tonight.
It's a labyrinth full of monsters here, not a theme park.
Looks like I better give my pistols a little TLC tonight.
And that concludes my overview of the next field study schedule. How are things coming along on your end, Instructor Valestein? Well, I've contacted all the relevant authorities. I've also considered the group placement of our 2 transfer students. Excellent. Let me ask you once more. Are you both certain that you're in favor of going forward with this? I do feel like it may be a bit early for them, but I see no reason not to. As students here, they're going to have to face it sooner or later. I am in full support. Furthermore, I've already secured the Lieutenant General's permission to proceed. Very well, then we will continue as planned. This may be a difficult reality for the students of Class 7 to face, but I can only hope that grappling with it now will help guide them down the right path. What are they in reference to? Why is that my responsibility? Because you're pretty much the leader of everyone. If I can figure out how to move. Hey, Reed, what's up? But, I mean, he's probably the most companionship she's had, so... Okay, we talked with everyone. Okay. Okay. Makarov. Becky. Last chapter. Looks like a lot of those are next chapter or later. So, bonding events. these people have weird issues. I actually bet she's up in her room. Regretting letting you go with me already. By your optimism, at least. I'm the older one here. Why am I getting bullied? Okay, bonding event's done. Okay. Near gymnasium. This is the only pool I know of. Okay, actually, one moment. I will be right back. Okay, sorry about that. Wait, I'm back. That need came on very quickly and was not going to be ignored. I better you not to ask. By my side, don't you mean behind me? Hey, it'd be easier to just show you what we're talking about. I believe it's time for the grand reveal. Wow, impressive, isn't it? We call this the sidecar. Much like the bike itself, this was a Roar Institute technology prototype that George put the finishing touches on. You can probably tell, but the sidecar lets other people ride along with you. Though it's much closer to riding in an orbital car than it is like being on a second bike. That's pretty interesting. Somebody do a test ride while Toa sits in the sidecar? Yep, that means I'm in your care, Reen. Try not to crash or anything. Alright, I'll make sure everything goes smoothly and safely. Don't worry about that. George and I have already done all the necessary safety tests. The goal of this test is to get a fresh perspective just like last time. That's right. Be sure to give us as much feedback as you can. That goes for you too, Toa. Okay. So, do you have time to go for a ride? Sorry, I'm always keeping you so busy. Oh, don't worry about it. How about you, though? Do you have time? You seemed pretty busy yesterday. Thanks for worrying, but I'm fine. I got most of this harder work sorted out yesterday. Which means I've got time to spare today. I can see George and I are ready to go whenever you are. Well, we'll work to your schedule today. Thank you. Well then. Why don't we get started right away? Great, let's get everything ready. Let's get everything set up then. We're doing this on the nearby highway, aren't we? Yep, same one Reen tested the bike on last time. So how does it feel to be in the sidecar, Toa? It's exciting, but I'm a little nervous too. Knowing Reen will be driving me puts me at ease, though. Haha, thanks. Oh, Toa, please don't say things that will make me envious like that. No, I have no choice but to send Reen home and ride it with you myself. Sorry Sorry to cut you short there, here, Angie, but I can't let you do that. Remember, we chose these two for a reason. Same test as last time, right? Starting to ride, shifting gears, and coming to a stop. Does sidecar change things at all? I mean, I would imagine it probably would. You're changing the aerodynamics and handling of the vehicle. So I imagine it'd make a huge difference. But that's just my thoughts. I very well could be wrong. I probably am wrong. I'm not a I used to think about actually owning a motorcycle, and I don't know. As I've grown older, it's become less and less wise of an idea, and I have gone more and more towards, no, let's not do that. But I mean, I know people who enjoy it, and I'm not going to decry that their choices. I'm just strictly going, it's not for me. Actually, yes. Main changes are the increase in weight and the different center of gravity. These two things will have a huge impact on how the bike operates. I'd recommend you approach this as a whole new experience because it's still going to feel like one. I never would have guessed. Okay, what we'll have to do. Basically, when the sidecar is attached, you end up veering off towards its direction while you're accelerating. By the same token, when you're slowing down, you'll end up veering off in the opposite direction, which changes things a little for your tests. Starting to move, you'll pull the handlebar to the left, so make sure to turn it slightly right in advance to compensate. Next up, when you're shifting gears, you'll need to turn the handlebar slightly to the left when you disengage the clutch. The same goes for bringing her to a stop, but the extra rate means she's going to be harder to slow down. So be sure to hit the brakes earlier than you did last time. Will do. It's like a whole different set of rules. It really is, but you should be fine if you pay attention to what you're doing. My advice for you, Toa, is to believe in Reen and focus entirely on enjoying yourself. I think you'll have a wonderful time if you do. Seconded, this should help motivate Reen too. How so? Well, think about it. I'll be happy knowing you're having fun, and I won't want to make any mistakes and ruin that. Aw, that's so sweet. Well then, here's hoping this will be fun for both of us. That's the hope. Alright, I'm going to start up the engine now. This is all so exciting. Okay, get ready. Here we go. And off they go. Should be fun to talk to them when they get back. So how is it? Does it feel different from when you rode alone? It totally does. Angelica's right when she said it would handle completely differently. And that's not the only thing. Oh, what else is there? Nothing. I was thinking of something else. I probably shouldn't tell her that the extent of riding with her is a bigger hurdle than the sidecar. Okay, I think we're both used to this speed by now. Are you ready to go a bit faster? Sure. Right then, let's switch gears. Well, look at you. That went well. Thanks for the encouragement. Don't be silly. All I'm doing is sitting here. This really does feel nice, doesn't it? The view from here is great, too. It's a much more refreshing experience than I expected it would be. Having you here with me makes me a lot more fun, too. Aw, thanks. Okay, okie dokie. Sounds like it's time for the final test. There we go. We stopped in just the right spot. I knew you could do it. Thank you, Reen. I had so much fun. We still have the journey back to look forward to. Glad to hear it. Why don't we take a little break before we go back then? Sounds good to me. Seems like things went very well for the both of you. Impressed you could handle her so well with such a different hardware than the last time you rode. Please, I'm blushing here. We really appreciate your help too, Toa. You ended up having a really good time, didn't you? I did. It was a lot easier to just sit back and enjoy myself than I thought. Of course, that's all thanks to Rean. Not at all. The fact that you trusted in me and were able to enjoy yourselves kept me focused on doing a good job. Well, I was trusting you, so today wasn't anything special. It's nice to hear you say that, though. Tears at my soul to say it, but you two make for a good pair. I was about to say the same thing. Well then, that finishes the test. Let's head back to the engineering building. Thank you both for all the great data. Your feedback should come in handy when I'm tuning the thing. Always glad to help. You're planning on entering the data into the computer, right? Would you like me to help you organize all of it? Really? That'd be a big help, but I'm sure you have the time. Aren't you busy with your preparations for the trade conference? Wait, Toa's going to the trade conference? Alright, I haven't told you yet, have I? Truth is, the Imperial Government requests I go along to help out the major players. As such, I'll be heading to Crossbow for the trade conferences as assistant to the entourage. The entourage attends the Empire's representative during the meeting, right? And you're assisting them? Yeah, I mean, it mainly involve helping out with the paperwork and scheduling, I'd imagine. I don't think I'll be much help, to be honest, but the government did ask. Toa's received a ton of job offers from all over the country lately. Everyone's just waiting on her to graduate. The trade conference invite is the government's attempt to sweeten the deal. Unbelievable. So you're planning on moving into government work instead of the military? Oh, I still haven't decided yet. I'm doing this just to broaden my horizons. And apparently, all this is because of the trouble in Heimdall last month. The government took a real interest in how quickly and efficiently she evacuated all the civilians. That explains it. I'd say Class 7 ended up doing a lot more than I ever could have. I even had help from Angie and Crow, too. Even then, it was thanks to your instructions that we were able to split up and handle everything so efficiently. If you did decide to enter the military, I think you'd make a splendid commander. They had a uniform small enough to fit her, at least. Hey, no teasing allowed. Either way, best of luck. I shall be in the middle of another field study by then, but I'll be praying that things go well for you. Thanks, Rean. Whoa. This is starting to look way too much like a sappy Tenmira novella. Let me just step right in here and keep you two from stumbling into a badly written fantasy. What kind of novellas are you reading? Was it something I said? Now, asking Twice will only encourage her. Change subjects before this gets out of hand. Thanks for helping us test out the bike again. This is for you. Just glad I could help. Au revoir. Hope you'll be the first person we ask if we need any more help. Yes. Since you're a hidden value, I can't tell where... I screwed that up towards the end. Again, I screwed that up at the end. I get ahead of myself and I screw it all up and I can't recover. I will get this. There we go.